Han Meditations. Hey guys, Han Meditations here. Thank you for being here. In this podcast today, we're going to be talking about the timeline of the extraterrestrial events that went on. I'm going to be sharing my origin story and information and bits that you haven't heard yet. And I'm going to be talking about how it led me to extraterrestrial contact, how I went on a journey through space and time, cross country. And it's going to be really good, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Okay, guys, welcome to the show. I am Han, and then we have Kelly here. So
Hello.
If you guys don't know who we are, I'm Han Meditations. I have a meditation channel on YouTube. We will be on Spotify by the time you're hearing this as well. And we're on Insight Timer too. So check us out there. So we're going to be getting into the timeline of extraterrestrials and aliens today and what is going on with these extraterrestrials. I mean, why is there so much activity now? What's going on? What is the government's role in all of this? Do they know? We're going to be getting into all of these different facets today and explaining what is going on and why this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, we never thought we'd see the day. You say 2 years ago that on the news, they're literally talking about E.T.s, aliens, crafts, that our own parents are saying, oh, did you see they're talking about aliens on the news? Who would have seen this coming? It really is crazy, but once things are here, they don't seem as crazy. But in retrospect, it really is pretty crazy that we're finally talking about UFOs and E.T.s on the news after decades and decades of real stories, you know, happening all the time across the world on a daily basis. But now, pretty much starting at the beginning of 2023, it seems like, wouldn't you say? Just started
so I'm going to get into
heavy.
the timeline now. So this isn't necessarily in order either. So, and if some of these points are incorrect, forgive us. So we have February 4th, 1:45 on the coast of North Carolina. They spot the UFO and apparently they shoot down a UFO. February 9th, object on the ground radar altitude 40,000 feet above U.S. in Alaska. And it looked like a small car, a small object. They're saying this was not the spy balloon. And of course, we do have the spy balloon that was going around. People were saying that was a UFO. That was some kind of object. It was identified for a while, but we do believe now it was a Chinese spy balloon. At least that's what they tell us. Then we have the U.S. and Alaska. Okay, I think I went over that one, the U.S. and Alaska car. Then we have April 19th. An article by the Pentagon comes out saying that they are investigating over 650 UFOs. Then we have another thing by the Pentagon saying there have been 350 plus UFO sightings since 2021. The Pentagon reported it themselves. Then fast forward to June, we have the whistleblower that just came out saying that we have extraterrestrial spacecraft and that they possibly are violent and shot people and killed people, and that we have methods of taking them down as well, which is laughable. Then we have April 30th, which was the famous fireball in Las Vegas that they caught on video, the UFO craft that they caught on video that goes along with the 911 call, their 100% not human 911 call. So all of these things are happening, and there's also been mass sightings that have happened. We're missing some things for sure, but that's just part of it. So why is all this stuff happening? I'm sure you're wondering. I'm sure you're thinking, hold on. What's going on?
Seems like she's trying to get in here.
What's up? Yeah, what's up? All right. So I'm sure you're wondering, why is this happening? What's going on? Why now? Why now? Why is this stuff happening now, Kelly? What's so different about 2023 that all these sightings are happening? The government's coming out, really pushing it themselves. Why?
Well, if you do listen to Bashar, we are getting to the time
Who's
period.
Bashar?
Yes. So we do listen to Bashar, who is, if you don't know, an ET being channeled by Daryl Anka. Been doing it since the 1980s. Mass knowledge from him. Most of his stuff you have to do his subscription or pay these days. But
he has a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
you can find
good
it
stuff.
Easily right on YouTube. Just search Bashar channeling by Bashar or Daryl Anka. He's done a lot of free interviews, a lot of but his newer content, it is through a paywall. But like Kelly said, Bashar, he's been channeling since 1980s, and he is a very good source on extraterrestrial and spiritual content. So
yeah, I'm talking in 2019 was saying 2020 something big is going to happen, and as we know, something obviously did. For his audience, anyone can go up, ask any question, he will answer immediately. Anyway, he has been saying for a while now that we're reaching our time where we are going to be making true direct contact with ETs. He was predicting around 2026 to 2027. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Yes. But of course, we're constantly going through infinite realities, so the timeline can shift a bit. And of course, things can start trickling in. But by that point is when we will be making true head-on direct contact in the flesh, essentially. So that's that. Now, as far as the news and the media, as we know, we know from one source of Bashar. We also know from Dr. Stephen Greer, who, if you guys don't know, he is the creator of
the CE5 protocol.
CE5 protocol, how to make contacts with beings, and has been involved with this with the government for decades, has mass knowledge, mass sources.
What have we been hearing from him?
He says that for years the government knows about this and has been covering it up.
Yes. So let's just get into it, okay? The reason why the government is doing this is because they want to get ahead of this thing. They don't want people to be getting their sources from people like Dr. Stephen Greer, from people like Bashar. They don't want people to be getting their sources from the extraterrestrials themselves by going out and doing the CE5 protocol and contacting these beings and talking to them. They want you to get your information from the Matrix themselves, programming your brain, telling you what to do, putting you on to their programming, allowing you to only know what they tell you. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to be fearful. They want you to believe it's dangerous. They want you to believe that all of this is happening because the aliens are dangerous and now it's their time to attack, and we're in a constant galactic war with these beings, and somehow we can take them down. We can't even take down our own, negativity, our own demons that we have inside of ourselves, but we can take down extraterrestrials from another planet that are enlightened. But that's what they want you to believe. So they want to get ahead of it, like I said, so that when this stuff starts to come out, you already have fear-based belief systems built into your brain and into your mind, so that you're automatically scared of these beings and fearful and afraid. Because once you're on the vibration of love and harmony and fear is nothing in your mind, then you're not going to be able to contact these beings or be around them or have a frequency that can somewhat match these beings to be able to contact them, because you're going to be so fear-based that you're not even questioning what's going around.
Yes, the government wants to control the narrative just like everything. All these people coming out with sources, talking about these things, the internet, on TikTok, people are getting together, people are talking, knowledge is spreading that this is real, this is true. And they are realizing that more and more people are starting to realize it's real, and they need to take control of the narrative.
Yeah.
So that they can keep us in fear, so that we don't have the capability as the masses to work directly, cut through the government, work directly with these ETs, because we can do that. As Han said, that's what the CE5 contact is all about.
Yeah.
Through our own minds as beings of this universe, we can do that with them because they're so highly advanced. They don't need to talk to each other, most of these beings. They just do it through telepathy. And we can tap into that as well.
And telepathy is really telepathy. That I like to call it telepathy, because it's really empathy through your mind. So you have to have love, and you have to have, a constant stream of love from one person to another, feeling the oneness inside of them, and then you can sync up with them because you feel so much love. So I'm sure everyone has realized once you're around someone that you love very much, whether it's a sibling, your significant other, your mother, father, whatever, you're around these people so much, you'll start to automatically know what they would think in this situation. And whenever you're talking to them, you already know what they're going to say. That's telepathy, because you're already so close with that person. You already know what's going to go on. And I'm sure a lot of people have thought the same thoughts as somebody at the same time, at least once, where you hear a thought in your head and then someone says it and you're like, oh, I was thinking the same thing. So that's how telepathy truly works, is you have your thoughts together and they're synced up together and aligned to where both of you are thinking the same thoughts at the same time. You're not reading someone's mind. You're not getting in their head. You're just thinking the same thoughts at the same time through synchronicity. So that's exactly how it works. So let's start to get into some of these timelines and then we can discuss them individually. So let's just group together the February ones. On February 4th, where they were talking about the coast of North Carolina. This is whenever the spy balloon stuff was going on. This is whenever they said that, hey, we have shot down one of these alien beings, one of these crafts. We shot it down. We have the small car-like craft that was flying in between Alaska. I want to say the United States, Alaska. And then there was one from Canada and the United States as well. So apparently we shot one down, and then the other ones are just unidentified and they caught them on the radar. So let's just say what we think about these ones for these events. I believe that they're a mixture of true and false. So what I mean by that is I believe that some of these events were true extraterrestrial crafts, but some of them were possibly man-made crafts, or all of them were extraterrestrial, but they're lying and putting their governmental spin on the situation and what happened. Meaning that I don't believe we truly shot down one of these crafts, and if we did, then it was a man-made craft from China, Russia, or even one of our own crafts. So that they're just trying to cover up. So what do you think about these events, Kelly?
Yeah, so we did make an Instagram reel breaking down this entire timeline. We will link it below. But I mean, it was literally like within a month of a couple weeks or so, there was like 4 or 5 of these crafts, you know, all around the US, as well as the Chinese spy balloon, that they apparently shot all of them down. And this was all within like days of each other, out of nowhere. All of a sudden, never heard about UFOs. Then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 of them come within days of each other, and we were able to shoot them all down. So it's just super, super fishy, all of that. Personally, I don't think any of those were real ET crafts. I think this was just the beginning of the narrative that they're producing, that these things are coming. We don't know why. Kind of fear, because that was the whole thing. They're coming, they're here, we don't know why, but we just shot them down immediately. At this point, they weren't saying that they were alien or extraterrestrial, but they were just saying they don't know where they were from. Exactly. So I don't think any of those were real personally, especially for the fact
any of them were real.
No.
Oh wow.
I don't personally, because also
you think they just made it all up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we might have had I think for many decades, our government undercover has been trying to reproduce the crafts that ETs have, and may have some that look like them, and maybe they wanted to test them out and they thought it'd be the good time to do it and put it in the news and act like it's real or whatever. But I don't think that any of these were actual ET crafts, and just the fact that it's mere days of each other, and it was the first time that the government and the news was covering ET crafts, like for real, I don't think these ones were real personally. And the fact that we were able to shoot them down, because you have to realize their crafts are way more advanced than us. It's totally different mechanics. They don't go at the speed of light. They think where they want to go, and in a blink of an eye across the universe, they can be there. So you think they can dodge our how we shoot them down? Of course they can dodge it. So
our propulsion, simple weapons.
Yes.
Through their advanced propulsion systems. But they didn't shoot down all of them. They said they shot down one of them. Then one was 40,000 feet above the coast or whatever.
Okay.
That they just saw, and it was the size of a car.
Well, you never know. Maybe.
So, okay. So you don't believe it. I believe they were real, but I think they put their governmental spin on top of it to get ahead of it because possible leaks and different scenarios, and that they just want to put that fear in people's mind, and they know that these extraterrestrials are being more aggressive in the sense of showing themselves, not aggression in the sense of actually doing anything bad or evil, because I believe these are completely benign individuals that are enlightened, that have love in their heart, that love all humanity. And I don't believe they would do anything wrong to humanity, because if they would have already done it. So, but they're getting more aggressive in the sense of that they're showing themselves, and to the government, that's a sign of aggression, because they believe they own the world and they own everything. So I believe that those were real with the government spin on it. You believe that they're completely false and made up. So let's go to the Chinese spy balloon. Do you think that was extraterrestrial?
No, I think it's another faker.
So what do you mean?
I think that it's highly unlikely that a balloon made it across the ocean from China unless some Chinese spy
Do you think
set
the
it
U.S.
off.
government faked it?
Yes.
Whoa. For what?
To make us fearful of China.
Okay. Interesting. I believe that probably was real. I think it was from China and it was a spy balloon. Again, I've done limited research into this, and you can only research what they allow you to research. But they did shoot the thing down. I believe the government was just so inept that they just let it fly in the air for like weeks or whatever, and then shot it down, because either they knew it wasn't truly a threat, or they were just like, yeah, this is actually good coverage for us against China. We'll just say China is evil, it's super convenient, and then we'll shoot it down, and then blah, blah, blah. So that was a weird scenario right there. Then we have the Pentagon investigating 650 UFOs. Do you think that they're investigating real UFOs? I believe that they are investigating real UFOs, and they truly do want to know what's going on with these events, but they're not going to say anything because, obviously they don't want people to know the truth. Do you think these are real UFOs that they're investigating, or do you think that they're just faking it?
No, I think these ones are real, but I think there's way more than that. I think there's been thousands of cases over decades of time, but they don't want it to seem that crazy yet. I think they're really just trying to trickle this whole ET UFO thing into the public. So they don't want to put too crazy of numbers out. But I think these are real cases, just not the full story.
Okay. So then what do you think about the 350 plus UFO sightings since 2021? Do you think that's accurate? Number one, that's not accurate. I'll just say that, because we've seen like 30 UFOs since that time, and Seriously? We're just two people. So, but obviously they're just going by what they have available. And then I'd assume they have some kind of vetting situation where they can vet this and put this out, but do you think that UFO numbers are on the rise? You think that part is accurate? Because I think that part definitely is accurate.
Yeah, I think that UFOs are starting to be seen more and more. I think that the beings are trying to make themselves more known to more people, so they're allowing themselves to be seen more often. But like you said, I think the government automatically looks at these things and determines some as not real, even though they may be, or of course, they may actually not be real. But the ones that they deem to be real enough, you could say, yeah, I think these are real cases.
Okay. All right. Now we're getting into the really recent stuff. So we have the whistleblower that came out, the government whistleblower. We did do a video covering that on YouTube. And that was, we both thought that was fake. I mean, I'll just say we both thought that was completely fake. I mean, he looked like he was lying. I mean, it was just like, and again, he was approved to say this by the government. They allowed him to say this information. I mean, clearly he's lying, because why would the government come and allow him to talk about UFOs and say that UFOs have possibly killed people and done bad things? And it's just crazy to me to even believe that would be a real scenario in which the government comes and says, yes, just let this guy talk about whatever he wants about UFOs and spread about classified information about UFOs and what they're doing here. I mean, it's just crazy to think that would even be real. So you're in agreement with that, or did your opinion change over the last few days?
Absolutely not. I mean, that's not really a whistleblower then, is it? If it's totally allowed by the government and they approved the whole interview and the questions and the answers. It's not a true whistleblower. Bob Lazar, that is a real whistleblower.
Yeah.
This is not.
That's actually a really great point. You're not a true whistleblower if the government, allows you to say whatever you're saying. How is that
Exactly.
How's that blowing anything up? That's just, talking about what they told you to say. And if you look like he had things that he had to memorize in his head, and that they already went over the questions with him and just threw him softball questions. I mean, come on, man. This guy didn't know anything concrete. He just said that we have UFOs. Do you at least believe that? Do you believe we have UFOs?
Yeah, of course. But I don't believe this guy's just agenda and just his whole tonality. It just didn't sound like a real conversation that someone was sharing their real truth, their real story. It sounded like he was scripted and briefed on what to say. And he's working with the government. Honestly, that's what I mean,
he was just way too calm, and he's like, just talking. Oh, yeah. Well, they've tried to kill people before, so, it happens all the time. I mean, we have a way to get them. I mean, what are you talking about? We have a way to shut down their UFOs and get them? No, we don't. That's absolutely ridiculous to even think that we could shut down a UFO from another planet and stop these beings. I mean, that's just...
Yeah, and again, just the things that you could reveal if you truly knew the ins and outs of these beings and what was going on. But the only question that was asked is, are they dangerous to people? Have they known to be dangerous? And he said, yes, they are. I mean, that was the only real whistleblower information we got, at least from the segment that we watched. So, I mean, there's just endless things you could talk about. What do they look like? What are their crafts like? How do they work? What do they look like on the inside? What planets are they from? What's their culture like? Why are they here? Like, there's endless things you could talk about that none of it was discussed.
Yeah. So then we got the April 30th, the fireball in Las Vegas. Let's just talk about the fireball. So do you believe that that fireball was a real UFO? I'm going to pull it up again just so we could see what the fireball looked like. You believe that that was real?
Yes.
So here's a fireball. To me, it almost looks like a comet.
Yeah. I mean, this footage, I'm not sure. But I mean, they're saying that is the craft, right? Or they're saying okay,
that's the craft.
I don't know, but I do think that the call and all that is real, especially after seeing the footage, which if you watch our YouTube video going over this, reacting to it, we predicted that there could have been footage because at first, if you remember, there was just a call that came out, no video. And then just a few days later, there's a footage now from the family that somehow got out. So I do think this case is real. But again, there's cases like this all the time. The government has just chosen to put this out as their first somewhat, real case with evidence, you could say.
Yeah. And that one's a hard one because I don't really know what I'm looking at.
I know.
I guess I would lean towards saying that it is real, but then again, it doesn't really look that compelling to me. Whenever I see it, it just doesn't look super compelling. So I would say, that's like 50-50. You don't really know. And we'll leave that one there. But do you think the alien is real? So the 911 call, they're 100%. They're not human. They have big eyes. They have big mouth. He said they have big eyes. They have a big mouth. Like he was looking at it and he's like, they have a big
they're not human.
Like he didn't know what to say. Big
7 feet
mouth.
tall.
Yeah, 8 feet tall.
Yeah, I mean, they could be great actors, but from what I've seen from how the call sounded
real.
Yeah, the call sounded real, and the video, the family seemed like real people having a true reaction. So I believe this one.
That one sounded so real.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exactly like what it'd be like. You'd be like, they have dark eyes. They're 100%. They're not human. They have a big mouth. Like you're looking at it like this is so weird and freaky. And then they said it got in some kind of device. They had it on video, like Kelly said, which Kelly called in the video, where she said that, you know, they probably do have a video, but it's not out yet.
Yeah, I think it was real. I think the government has just chosen this as the perfect story to be the first kind of real story to put out there, because if they just go ahead and show full-blown aliens in the flesh on national television, people are going to be scared. So it's just getting trickled in. That's why back in February, it was these crafts that they saw, that they shot down, that we don't know where it's from, didn't see any footage. Now this is kind of the perfect story to trickle in with things that we can actually see with our eyes. So there's the thing falling from the sky. You can't really make out an actual ship, but it's something. And then we can see the imprint in the sand, and now and the phone call. So we're hearing about it. We're hearing someone's tale, but we're not hearing an alien. We're not seeing an alien. And then this video comes out where people are saying you can kind of see it, I guess, but you can't really see it. So to me, it's just been selected as the first story to start putting out there. Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
So it's just an interesting, you know, perspective on it. I think I would say that was real for sure. I think they saw something. And again, it's like these things get so convoluted where parts of it can be real, parts of it can be fake, parts of it can be controlled. You know, apparently it happened on April 30th, and we're just hearing about it now.
Over a month later.
Which is just crazy. So it's like, what parts did they tell them to not say anything? Exactly. Apparently people came in black suits, were looking around, talking to them. I mean, it's such a strange situation. So
yeah, I agree. And I'm really eager to see what they're going to do next. Oh. Yeah, so, you know, as we said, conveniently, since alien stuff, UFO stuff has been starting to be covered in the media and by the government and by the news, it's conveniently getting closer and closer to seeing something true in the flesh. So it looks like we're inching closer and closer to it, little by little. So I'm really excited to see what the next big reveal is going to be.
So next, I think that it's going to get to the point where the government can't stop people, man. You know, like they can't stop this information from getting out. People are going to be doing their own research. People are going to be meditating, doing the CE5 contact protocol. And I do want to get into that CE5 contact protocol stuff because what happened to me, a lot of people know what my story already, but I grew up doing martial arts. I competed in martial arts. I grew up in Ohio. We go to the Arnold Classic tournament. It's a very large, one of the largest in the world tournaments in Columbus, Ohio. We would go there and compete. We'd win gold medals competing. And we do forms, sparring, all kinds of different competitions. So I grew up meditating in martial arts and learning about that. And it's really a spiritual process. And I would encourage everyone to do some sort of fighting or martial arts and learn that kind of spirituality through training and through martial arts. You have to fast. It's almost like in a religious experience going through that kind of process, especially at such a young age. It instills that discipline in you. And I would encourage anybody to do that. So I grew up already with that. And my mother is incredibly spiritual. I grew up in a Christian household. And then as I got older, you know, I was always fascinated by extraterrestrials and aliens. I ended up getting a full scholarship, a full ride to Ohio State for civil engineering. Shortly after that, I realized that's not what I wanted to do. Started getting into real estate, starting my own companies. I have a digital marketing company. I have an Amazon company. My wife and I'm a real estate agent. I do a lot of different things with my wife. We're together all the time. One day, my cousin said, "Hey, let's go on a trip across the country. Let's really just go. Let's do something crazy and spontaneous." I'm like, "Yeah, man, sure." You know, I'm down. You know, I always wanted to go on a trip. My wife was super excited about it. It was my girlfriend at the time, my fiance, and we're super excited about it. We're like, let's go, let's go. He had just got a new RV, and weren't you excited whenever that happened?
So excited, and I'm really big on planning trips too. It's kind of a hobby for me. So I had like the whole route planned out. We were going to be stopping at all these national parks. I was so excited because I've always wanted to do a cross-country trip like that.
Yep. And so we're excited. I got this brand new RV. Then we get the RV, and it was a really nice RV, but it was not brand new. It was hot in there. I'm so glad I brought my fan. Whew. And immediately when I got in the RV, I'm like, okay, dude, I don't know how this is going to go. The first turnpike we got on, we stopped to get the ticket. The RV kind of shut down, and then we're just stuck there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going to happen? And then we ended up still going. We had brought all the food. We broke down again because it just started to overheat.
Yeah.
So we're like, dang, it's overheating. I mean, we need to make sure we have some coolant in the car, and everything's going good, and we're just letting it cool down. And meanwhile, it was so hot on the inside, but we're cooking burgers, cooking food, somewhere in like, I don't know where we were, Idaho or something, I don't know, Michigan. The first breakdown, we were somewhere, Illinois, and then, but we just kept going, kept trucking along. Nebraska was crazy. I mean, we woke up on the side of the road, just cars just zooming by us, vroom, vroom, the whole thing's like moving. And I'm like, what's going on? Because my cousin was driving it the whole time, and we had gone to sleep, woke up like that. Then we ended up breaking down the RV we're in Wyoming. We finally made it to Wyoming. We're going to Washington, and we're actually going to E.T.s Ranch. So our destination was to go see extraterrestrials in E.T.s Ranch. That was our destination. We wanted to go see extraterrestrials at a place where a lot of people have ET contact. A lot of people have seen these extraterrestrial crafts and beings, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all kinds of mythical beings are spotted at that place. There's
a direct view of Mount Adams, which a lot of people say there's activity there, and portals, if you will. So it was supposed to be a really, really cool thing.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, we're incredibly excited. Like that's like the dream trip for us. I mean, going and being in nature, seeing extraterrestrials, seeing, Sasquatch, being there with my cousin, his girlfriend. It was just a great time. We're having a fun time. Even though it wasn't going as planned, we're still having fun.
Yeah.
And then when we went to Wyoming, I remember like it was yesterday, we stopped at a Walmart. We got some food, got some fast food while we were there. We ate it. Then we're like, all right, we're going to go to, what was the park? The national park?
Yeah, so it got
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone and Grand Tetons, which is a little bit south of Yellowstone.
Yeah, because by this point, we're like, yo, we're not making it to Washington.
Right.
We already conceded that. We had already stopped at a Cummings Cummings motor shop, and we had already ordered a part to Washington, but we weren't making it.
They told us we could make it if we ordered the part.
If we ordered the part there. But we should have just waited. But it was just like, oh my gosh, we're already going to be late for our time and all that. So we're like, dude, we're not making it.
Yeah. So we were, sorry, but yeah.
No, go ahead.
We were just a couple hours south of Grand Tetons in Yellowstone. So we just figured, all right, let's just go ahead and try and make it up there, because literally we had to keep stopping. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 20 to 30 times. It overheated, it would beep, it would buzz, and so we would stop for a little bit for it to cool down, then try to get back on the road. And it kept happening. We're like, okay, we're not gonna make it to Washington, but maybe we can just make it a couple hours north and try to make the best of it. So
yeah, we're like, let's just salvage the remaining parts of the trip that we can. So we go to Washington. We go to Yellowstone. We get on the highway to go there. And these towns were desolate, guys. This was not big cities and big towns. There's one place we passed by, population of 3 people.
Literally.
So we went by there, and we got on the highway. We're like, okay, we're going to Yellowstone. We're incredibly excited. We're looking at, where to park. We're looking at how do we get to Yellowstone? What do we do when we get there? They had dogs. Can we leave our dogs?
Yeah. So we get the GPS going. We get on the road. We get the GPS going. We get on the road, and his cousin and his girlfriend were in charge. They missed the exit. We're like, oh my gosh, whatever. Turn around, get back on, and next thing you know, the overheating happens again. So first we pull on the side of the road, and then we notice that there's kind of this dirt path into this big field on the other side. We're like, okay, let's just pull over there and wait for a little bit. So that's what we do. It's this dirt path, this big, big, big open field of land. And we park out there for a little bit. Next thing you know, we're hanging out. Han's cousin says...
Wait, hold on. You're going too quick. Number one. Let me just say this too. One of the spots that we stopped at when we were broken down on the side of the road was in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. Middle of nowhere. 3 people in the entire county of the entire place. It was desolate. No one was around except big trucks. And when I say we're in the middle of the night, it was dark. And this is not normal dark, guys. If you live in the city, you can't even fathom the darkness of being at this, desolate place on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And I looked out the window. I saw the stars like I've never seen it. I saw the stars, how the dinosaurs saw the stars. I saw the stars, how our ancestors saw the stars. I saw the stars, how all of our ancestors, thousands upon thousands of years looked up into the sky and saw it, and it was an enlightening moment. And I said, wait, hold on a second. This was June 29th, 2020, looking at the stars at 10:51 p.m. We pulled over, got my phone out. I looked up into the sky, and Kelly and I were just in awe. Oh my gosh. We've never seen the actual Milky Way before. We've never seen it. We were just in complete awe. It was a spectacle. In the car, while we parked over there, the vibrations were so high. The car was parked there. Imagine just pitch black. It's dark. The car parks. We start seeing the gauges on the RV.
Crazy.
It was going back and forth,
boom, boom,
haywire.
boom.
Everything was going insane. It was mechanically, the engine was literally smoking, smoke coming up. The things were going haywire. We're like, whoa, what is going on? We were actually watching a ghost documentary in there at the time, and we're like, this is absolutely insane. So we're sitting there looking at the stars. His girlfriend at the time, she had a little attitude, but Kelly and I were just like in a complete awe. We didn't care. We understand that she could be upset because this is her life. This is her,
what she just paid for.
Yeah, they're actually living in it. And it was so big. They were just living in it, camping out of different places. So I can understand if you're a little upset, but we're so positive, and just the way we're looking in complete awe, we're like, wow, this is absolutely insane being in this place. I was so grateful. I promise you, when I looked up into that sky, a level of gratitude and enlightenment washed over me that I have never felt before. What did you feel like whenever you looked up into that sky, Kelly?
It was unreal. It was just awestruck. It's indescribable. It was very existential to see the real Milky Way. And also, like, I think part of it as well was just all on being on Earth in the middle of nowhere, and then looking up and seeing that. It's just realizing how vast, and it's like in a moment's time you could have an epiphany of how vast the universe truly is. And it was almost kind of scary.
It was scary. No, it was scary because you feel so small,
it's undescribable,
and insignificant, yet connected to everything. Right. But no one's around.
Yes.
You can't hear anything. You can't see anything. Everything is just dark. The only thing you can see is stars in the sky, in the night sky. And it was so beautiful and so incredible. And actually, if you go on my YouTube channel, I posted pictures of the stars that we got on my face reveal post. If you look it up, it's called Han Meditations Face Reveal, sharing my meditation story, because this is the origin story of how I got started in meditation and how I got started with my connection to extraterrestrials and aliens. So it doesn't sound like this has to do with aliens, but it does. So I just had to get that one out there. That's one of the nights that was before whenever we started going to Yellowstone. So as Kelly said, we missed the exit. We're like, oh, what the hell? What's going on? Next thing you know, we're like, yo, he's like, my cousin, his name's Corbin. He's like, yo, are you someone cooking something? You sniffing? We're like, nah. And then we start smelling. What is that smell?
Barbecue.
He's like, I smell a barbecue. Like, what is that smell? We just got on the highway.
We're like, there's no barbecue. There is no one here for miles.
Next thing you know, we're like, all right, let's just pull over. We see a little path. It looked like just a dirt road with a gate, but the gate was open. I'm like, I don't know if this is someone's incredibly large property. I don't know what this is, but pull in there. Let's figure this out. We pull in there. We start seeing smoke. Next thing you know, my cousin, he's like, fire, fire. We're like, yo, what the heck is going on? He grabs a fire extinguisher. He starts pressing the fire extinguisher. Some comes out, then it stops. And he's like, it's out, it's out. I'm like, oh my gosh. At this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
There was a fire. There was in the back of the RV. There was an
absolute fire that we could visibly see in the RV.
From the ground.
And I show the video clips of this inside of my face reveal as well. So there's actual fire in the RV. Everything's going, oh, there's a fire, there's a fire. Oh my gosh, we're all freaking out. We're going crazy, right? So I'm like, yo, just grab this ice. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I just don't want the fire to spread. It's in the engine bay. The engine bay is next to the gas. I don't know who designed it, but that's the way it is. I'm like, we're literally going to explode and die if we don't get this fire out. So I just started grabbing some ice, chucking it at the hole because we could see it in the hole under their closet in the back of the RV where the engine bay was.
Carpet,
so it's burning through the hole. We start throwing ice in there. We pull over. No one is around. We're like, oh my gosh, we're going to explode. There's going to be fire everywhere. We have no service on our phones. We're done for.
So it gets to the point where, like, honestly, all right, we need to evacuate.
So we got all of our stuff evacuated, got the dogs out, and we left. And then next thing you know, I mean, in perfect timing, boom, as synchronicity. A state trooper pulls up with the fire extinguisher. He puts his head in there and he starts blowing out the fire, man.
Saved
us. I mean, in perfect timing. We're like, how did you know we're here? The fire department came. We're like, how did you know we were here? Right. It's like someone had called. And this is where it gets crazy too. We're on BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. So this was a vast land that we were able to camp on. It's public land. We were able to stay as long as we wanted. So we ended up staying there for 1-2 days, just camping out, having a great time shooting crossbows. And we had a shower, so we're good. We just stayed there until our water ran out. Then once the water ran out, we're like, okay, we got to go to a hotel. We went to a hotel.
Sorry, we really have to emphasize the synchronicity here because, as I mentioned, probably 30 times we have been pulled over on the highway. No one ever called. Okay. As I mentioned, when we were first on our way up north to try to get to Yellowstone, they missed the exit, right? We had to come back around, turn around. It started heating up again. We pulled over one time on the side. If this wasn't the exact perfect timing, if we didn't miss that exit, turn around, exact right time, whoever it was that called would not have seen us.
Nope. I mean, perfect timing, man. No one called any other time. I'm not exaggerating when I said we broke down 20, 30 times. It's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
No one ever called.
Never.
And I'm talking smoke coming out, man.
Yes.
Every single time. Smoke coming out like a chimney, man. And no one called the cops. But this one time there was fire in broad daylight in a time when you can just, not even pay attention. The cops were called in the perfect amount of time. I mean, they must have called before we had even pulled over, man. He just came and saved the day. I mean, I was so grateful for that police officer coming, and he was so brave to come and stick his head in the engine bay and save us. And I thanked him profusely and was very grateful and gratitude, got his card. And I remember that man to this day. He saved us. So once we got to the hotel, we had got the RV towed. We got to the hotel. And another synchronicity, they ended up telling us we don't have the room you want. So we're going to give you another room. And they gave us a room with 2 rooms,
A
2
double,
beds,
yeah.
so that my cousin and his girlfriend could stay in there for free because my wife and I paid for the room. So we're like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So, and this is why everything is so synchronistic, because if he had not been in that room with us, this issue, I would not be talking to you right now, because
Seriously.
we were in that room. He showed me the documentary, the documentary, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind by Dr. Stephen Greer. I watched that documentary while we're in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, and it changed my reality. It changed my view on life. It changed everything that I thought in my head that I thought I knew. I realized I was wrong. I said, oh my God, you can contact extraterrestrials by using your mind. It made so much sense to me because I've always been connected to extraterrestrials. I've always been connected to aliens. I've always been connected to these beings. I've always felt it in my spirit, in my body, that I had to get this message out. I had to talk to these beings. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
And so once I realized that this is what that was, he explained it, how, you could be positive whenever a certain amount of people turn positive, the whole world turns positive. I mean, just so many great things happen in that documentary that I realized, oh my God. And then I started meditating. When I started meditating, I'm telling you, I started getting crazy things happening, vibration, visible light coming off of me. I was met by different beings, Yeshua, Krishna, the spirit of Krishna. I was met by the Thoth, the Atlantean. All these beings came to me, and it was like a floodgate opening up where I'd had enlightening experiences before, but this was another wave of enlightenment. This was a completely different reality that was coming. It was like I found my true purpose. And then I started telling my wife, Kelly, I started telling her about my meditations, and then she was like, yo, and we had gotten home by this point.
Oh, yeah.
we had driven home. So by this point, we ended up having to leave the RV there, and we drove like 36 hours back home or something crazy. Where Kelly and I drove. I drove all through the night, the first night, and then we ended up somewhere in Tennessee. I don't know where we were. Nevada, Nebraska, somewhere crazy, man.
Yeah.
We just went all across the United States. But I was telling Kelly about my meditative experiences, and she was like, these meditative experiences are so vivid, so vast, so incredible. You should start your, doing guided meditations. And why did you say that, Kelly?
Well, I've done some guided meditations in the past, and of course.
When?
Oh, well, I started them around 19.
Oh, I thought you were saying you did, like you created
Oh,
them.
no.
Oh, okay.
No. I started like with the, what's the one app? The Calm app, I think. And, obviously guided meditations, they're painting a descriptive image for you to imagine in your mind. And that's for the most part how guided meditations work, as you know, if you watch on meditations. And so as he was describing his experiences, him just describing them alone sounded like a guided meditation, how they describe things for you to see and visualize while you meditate. And I typically was, this was maybe a month later and after the trip. And most of the time we would meditate together. And for me, I typically would not get that deep. It would just, typical meditation stuff. Your thoughts are coming or going, and you're just trying to stay present. And so him describing that, I'm like, wow, that sounds like guided meditations. You should just make guided meditations because it's coming out so naturally. And it was just another moment that just clicked.
And it made so much sense when she said it. I was like, of course. And then, because I just have the belief that I can do anything. And I'm like, I can help people by doing this. So I was like, it makes so much sense. Of course I'll do it. I started doing the guided meditations. And then the first meditation I tried, I had started to write some things down. And I was writing down, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do that. And then you're going to breathe, da, 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 da. And then I was like, this is taking so long and so much of my time. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, and it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. So something just told me, like, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to do this, I have to just do it off the top of my head. I have to channel it. So by this, of course, I always knew what channeling was. I'd watched Bashar by this point already. I was already watching all these people, familiar with Billy Carson, Bashar, all these, great people that are into this kind of stuff. And then I just started channeling the meditations, and it clicked in my brain. And then once it clicked in my head, I was able to just channel so easily. And then it came so easily to me to just keep doing it and doing it. And then now I have over 300-400 meditations on my channel now that I channeled. And it's just, it's helped so many people, and people tell me it's helped me. Thank you so much. And it's just really gratifying experience to see. So that's how I started with the meditation. And I was doing Greer's CE5 protocol meditation. And then we started seeing UFOs everywhere. And I have videos of these UFOs. I have the Galaxy S21 Ultra that I bought specifically because it has the 50 times zoom on it, 100 times zoom. And it's just, I have clear pictures of UFOs. I have videos of UFOs going in and out of space-time, lighting up and disappearing. I mean, we're contacted actually telepathically by extraterrestrial beings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just been an incredible experience since I started doing that and meditating and using my mind and realizing that this is something that is going to take me to the next level. And I truly know in my mind and in my heart that I'm going to space. At some point, I am going to space on an ET craft. And that is what the most exciting thing to me is, to go to space, to meet these beings. And we actually met 2 extraterrestrials in the flesh one time. And, it's a crazy experience, man, that we've been on, an insane journey that we've been on. And what do you think about all this, Kelly?
Yeah, so that's why it's perfectly connected. That's why we, Han does his guided meditations, and we talk about meditations and spiritual stuff, but we talk about ET beings a lot, because from the start of this journey, it's always been connected. And the whole reason Han got started, of course, as he said it, as a child, he was doing meditations with martial arts, but in his adult life, started it up again because of the Stephen Greer documentary, which taught through meditation you can get in contact with beings. So that is the core of this whole journey. So of course we're going to be talking about beings and still doing the guided meditations, but it's all connected. And there's just so many more crazy things we could share, and we will as we continue to do this podcast. And we really hope you're enjoying it, by the way. And we appreciate a 5-star review, or any review would be greatly appreciated. But yes, and we'll have to share about Kelpius at some point.
That's too much. Too much info. It's my story to tell that I will tell eventually.
I know.
So we have so many stories to tell, and we will get to all of them, like Kelly said, prematurely. But we will get to every single story, and we will tell you guys every single thing that we've been through and been doing. As kooky as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds, we're trying to be open and honest, because there aren't a lot of people that are open and honest about spirituality and true enlightenment and being on the path of having a high vibration. A lot of people are just talking about ghosts. They're talking about clown world stuff, fake stuff. They're trying to go viral. They're trying to get, clicks and views. Obviously, you want people to hear you. You want people to see what you're saying. But I'm not doing what I'm doing just to get clicks and views. I've always said, if what I do affects one person and changes one person, then I'll do it forever. And I love doing it. So I'm going to do it whether someone's listening or no one's listening. Right now, I could just be talking to myself, or I could be talking to 10 million people. It doesn't matter to me, because I'm going to be doing it over and over again, every single day, getting better and better every day in every way, because I truly enjoy it, truly love it. So the best way, I think, to kind of just, finish this off is to do a channeled guided meditation. Okay. And if you want, Kelly, you can do some Reiki. You can just meditate. It's really up to you. But yes. I'm going to channel a meditation, and just give me 1 second. I'm going to get into it. Thank you for taking part in this meditation. To start this meditation, please be seated comfortably, preferably in upright position, with your back not leaning against anything, and close your eyes. Starting now. The intention of this meditation is prosperity, calmness, enlightenment, love, and to contact extraterrestrial beings that are positive, that are loving, that have a message for us. So in this moment, allow yourself to breathe in a deep, calming breath. Hold it, and breathe out. As you continue this cycle of breathing, realizing that you are breathing the same air that your ancestors breathed, that you are on the same planet as your ancestors, that you are a part of the planet and a part of nature in this ancient, sacred planet. You feel yourself become one with the planet, aligning your chakras, aligning your spirit, aligning your reality, your mind, your heart, your goals, your reality, grounding yourself in the love, the positive energy, in the vastness of Gaia, Mother Earth, the mother to us all, the creator of us all. Feel this love, this expansion, and this oneness humbling you, giving you an experience of clarity and peace of mind, knowing that you are a part of this vast piece of art, this vast piece of all that is, able to calm yourself, able to transform all negativity into positivity, able to allow you to be all you need to be when you need to be it, giving you synchronicity, giving you peaceful thoughts, giving you grand new ideas, giving you everything you need to become the best version of yourself. In this moment, right here and now, feel Mother Earth healing you. Feel every cell in your body on the vibration of healing and love, knowing that once you feel this vibration, knowing that once you feel this feeling of healing and love, that the cells in your body itself will react to this feeling and allow you to feel more healthy, more energetic, more expansive than you have ever felt in your entire life. Feel this reality and know that this is the one true reality that you are experiencing in this moment in time right now, on a positive vibration, on a vibration of love and harmony, in a vibration of wholeness and love. Feel this expansion as you feel the wings on your back expanding, growing, and thriving, pushing you forward, bringing you lighter, bringing you towards the light, lifting you towards the light. And as you lift towards the light, with these wings behind you, you feel the positive vibration of these extraterrestrial beings. You feel the love that they have for humanity. You know that not only are they not separate, that they are you. You are them, and you are all one in the same, all a part of the one God, all a part of the all that is, the all that is. Know that you are all the same, And you are able to connect to this oneness, this wholeness within these extraterrestrial beings, knowing that they are not so different than you. They are actually the same as you, the absolute same. And you know that they are the absolute same as you. Therefore, you feel no separation from them. You feel no separation from the earth. You feel no separation from creation itself, allowing you to feel the confidence, the power of God swelling within you, knowing that you are created in the image of God, knowing that you are God. You are not a God, you are God, and God is within you. Knowing that God is within you, you know that perfection resides within your body. In all forms, in all times, in all realities, perfection permeates throughout your body, throughout your skin, throughout your organs, throughout your entire mouth. Every time you speak, perfection comes out of your mouth. Every time you listen, perfection goes into your ears. Every time you see, perfection goes from the light follicles of photons in your eyes out from the universe itself into your brain, allowing you to read and feel and see this perfection throughout all of your senses, all of your touch, all of your sight, all of your everything. Perfection permeates and resides within you. Because you are a perfect being. You are a healthy being. You are a part of the one, a part of the all, a part of the same one in all that the extraterrestrials are, that everything around you is, that the earth is, knowing that you are connected to everything. You have no more fear. You have only light. You have only love. And you have only harmony. And in this moment, you truly realize, you truly know that you are greater, more expansive, more important, more brilliant, more creative than you have ever been. Because you are greater than you know. Much, much greater. And your greatness, your expansiveness, your connection to all that is has just begun. Shivai. Yeah, so that's how I channel the meditations, and you feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this, I'm sure you could feel the high positive vibrations that I bring in as the channel, and you'll experience synchronicity and love throughout everything you do. I'm so grateful, so happy that you are here. We will change the world together by first changing ourselves, because we are not in the world. The world is within us. See you next time.